the Au Pair podcast. My name is Becca, I'm from the UK and I'm currently working as an au pair in Frankfurt. Even though I'm not even halfway through my experience, I've learned quite a lot of things so far, and these are things that I really want to share with you. The podcast will help you to begin your au pair experience and then to know how to deal with some of the challenges that you may face along the way. So this first episode is all about starting at the beginning. The first step is setting up your profile on AuPairWorld. So I have three main pieces of advice for setting up your profile. The first one is to plan ahead and leave plenty of time. So I set up my profile in, I think, October of 2021 with the intention of starting as an au pair at the end of August 2022. So I set my profile up a good 10 or 11 months before my intended start. This was partially because I still didn't know if I wanted to be an au pair. So I was kind of just going on there to figure things out and see what the experience would be like and whether it would really suit me. This is one of the main benefits of making your profile early, is that it gives you time to have a look at what families are out there, look at what their expectations of you are, to have a think about your own expectations, what you want to get out of the experience, and then to give you plenty of time to then put that into focus and find a family that matches your expectations and your values. So I think that's a really important step, is just to give yourself plenty of time, because then you can really explore the different options and really think about what you want. I think that's a really important thing to know, is what you want to get out of the experience. It also gives you time to get to know the family once you've found them. If you start applying early, you're more likely to find a family early, and then you have plenty of time to find out more things about them, find out what they want to expect from you, all of these things before actually signing a contract. So it means that there's no rush, there's no pressure to sign anything. You can just kind of get to know each other first and see whether it's a good fit, and find out more information before you have to sign anything official. I did this with my family. I found them in the January and due to start at the end of August. So I had loads of time to get to know them, and that was really helpful for me. It's something that I will come back to later on because it's a really important step. So I made my profile really quite early. I had time to kind of scope out the families that were out there and what I wanted, and I found that really, really useful. The second tip for setting up your profile is to be completely honest about your expectations, your preferences, your ideals. It's very tempting to say what you think the family want to hear and to present yourself in a very specific way that you think the family will like. But if that is not really true to you, then it's kind of pointless. It's a bit futile. Really, you have to spend 6 months to a year maybe with these people. That's a long time to pretend to be something that you're not. It's really important to make sure that you feel comfortable and that they know who you are and therefore feel comfortable with you. I know that I found it tempting sometimes to kind of fit myself into a role that I don't really fit into. So I found a lot of really amazing families who just sounded lovely, and I thought, I'd really like to work for you. But they were maybe, for example, there was one that was very, very sporty. They were really, really into sport and outdoor activities and being active all the time. I'm active. I like to do a little bit of sport, but I wouldn't consider myself a sporty person. So, I was tempted to sort of message them and say, oh, I play badminton, I go swimming, and make it sound like I was a lot more sporty than I am. But really, again, I would have to spend a year with this family, which would mean I'd have to spend a year being kind of sporty and doing the activities that they like, which then just wouldn't suit me. So that's an example of how it's better to be true to yourself, and find a family that is a bit closer aligned with who you really are, so that you don't have to force yourself to be someone that you're not, because it just doesn't work out when you're living with a family full time. You just can't keep up the pretense. So that's definitely something to consider. And the final point is to choose the pictures that you use carefully. I approached my profile in general a bit like a CV. It was very friendly, it was very open, I wanted to seem approachable, but I also wanted to be professional. In my mind, I was always thinking, yes, this is a family that want me to join, almost as a member of the family, but I also need to view these parents as prospective employers and me as a potential employee, in which case I need to show a degree of professionalism and I need to treat this like any other job application. So with pictures, my main advice is to not just choose a picture because you think you look good in it and you like the picture, but to think about what your pictures say about you and how the family will view them. So you don't necessarily want a picture on your profile of you on a night out with a drink in hand with your friends. It doesn't really give the right impression for an au pair. Even though you can socialise and you can do all of these things, it's not the reason that you're going for the role. You're meant to be going for the role with this idea of I'm going to be looking after children. So you want your profile to convey that. So I chose a picture with my siblings. I think I chose a picture with my brother and sister, to show that I'm a family-oriented person and that I like to spend family days together. And then I think I just chose a picture of myself in a fairly neutral setting, wearing fairly neutral clothes, just a picture that I thought made me look friendly and reflected who I am. Because a picture can really say a lot about you. It can show whether you're confident, it can show what values you have. So, for example, who you're with, where you are, can show a lot about you. And it can reflect your professionalism. So I think it's really important just to be careful and to be mindful when you're picking the pictures. And in general, when you're writing the whole profile, always think about the purpose of what you're saying and how the family will read it, because I think that's really important.